2019. She loves her roles as teacher, artist, astrologer, empathic healer, and HGA psychic fair reader. She is a resident of Harmony Grove, where she lives with her little dog, Boots. Let's give a warm welcome for Marilyn Johnson.
All right, let me get myself organized here. Just hold on. All right, thank you for your attention. Can you hear me okay? Good? I see somebody in the audience I didn't see before. I haven't seen you in a long time. Okay, so today I'm going to be talking, my talk is in the presence of angels. That's what I want to talk about today. And so specifically, or generally, I suppose I could say, see these notes? I can't read them. They're so tiny. So I have to put them up here. So I want to talk about connecting to angels, how angels have helped me on 3 occasions in my life. I want to talk about our spiritual journey, and then maybe we'll do a little exercise if that's okay. So I'm going to talk about the 3 instances in which I was connected, or when angels connected with me. And I was younger. The first time that it happened, I was outside at my home here in San Diego. I was brought up in San Diego. And I was on our porch. I was about 8 years old, I would say. And my life had changed very drastically. It changed upside down. And I was on the porch, and I was playing jacks, and I was playing by myself. Now, I've never felt lonely. Really, literally, I've never felt lonely in my life. But this angel, who I didn't see, came over to the side of me. So I was like this, and she was behind me. I have the sense that it was female. That's the way it felt to me. That was the energy. I didn't see her, but she enveloped me with a feeling of, you're not alone. You're not alone. Even though at that time in my life, really, looking back on it, I was really alone. I was very much alone. But she made me feel like that. And one of the things I'm going to talk about in terms of angels is what happens when we're in their presence. It kind of feels like, how many people feel like you're connected with angels? So the feeling I have of it is that time stood still, and there was like a glow around that moment that you can't, it's like we were in a different world, a different beautiful world. And and that was the end of it. But that angel gave me heart. That angel gave me heart. Okay, so I would say maybe a year later, so I was still very young, and I told you that my life had changed. And so I was in a different school, beautiful school, lovely school here in San Diego. and it had these very tall eucalyptus trees, extraordinarily beautiful eucalyptus trees. And I didn't really know anybody at my new school. And I'm not a shy person. I get to know people. It's fine. But I walked away from the group of people, and I was alone in this area where there were these beautiful eucalyptus trees, just me and the eucalyptus trees. And I think I was probably just looking for quiet and solace. And I saw a visual angel, and she came out of the tree. She came out of this extraordinarily beautiful eucalyptus tree. So she came forward, and she was all light. She was very beautiful. And again, she didn't say anything to me, but she made me feel like I was not alone. It was still during that period where I was having a shift in my life. And again, the light and the stillness of that moment was so extraordinarily beautiful. Here I am, I don't want to say how many years later, but many decades later, here I am, and I can still feel that feeling. That's what it's like with an angel. You never really lose that essence. And then the next one happened much, much later, but a long time ago. And I would say I was about 23. And at that time, I was moving. I had decided to move. I had gone to school in the Midwest, and I decided to come back to San Diego. I was all on my own. Once again, aloneness was a big factor in these angel connections. And I was driving, and I had a car, and I had a U-Haul that I was pulling along. I packed that U-Haul, I rented that U-Haul, I did everything with that U-Haul, driving my car all by myself back to San Diego. And I heard a noise in my car, and I said, oh my God, what do I do? And so I pulled off in this little rest stop. I think it was in Iowa. So my school was in the Midwest, and I was traveling down, and I was going to go west. Okay, so I'm traveling down, I hear the sound, I say, I don't know what to do, and it's just me. And so I pulled off in this beautiful little rest stop. Guess what? Do you think there was anybody there? It's just, do you think anybody was there? No, there wasn't anybody there. And not only that, I don't think angels show up in, like, where there's a lot of people. At least not in this situation. Anyway, so I parked, and I said, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? So what do you think happened? And this time, a very beautiful angel came from behind my car. And she was so extraordinarily beautiful. And she didn't speak words, I'm not sure. But anyway, she told me everything was going to be fine. Everything was going to be perfectly fine. And so, I can't believe that I even had, I'm not looking over at that beautiful picture of the angel over there. I can't even believe now in my life that I had that experience. Who has those kind of experiences? How extraordinary it was. And anyway, so I got myself in my little car, which was a Ford Mercury, U-Haul, booked it out to San Diego, and had no problems whatsoever. So, again, time kind of stood still when I was in that parking space, or that rest area. Time stood still, and everything stood still, and there was just this extraordinary light and this beautiful angel, and it's like there was nothing outside of that. There was just that moment. So those are my stories of the presence of angels. But now what I want to do is gather myself a little bit and look at my notes and so I had no control over the angels, right? But I do have control. I had no control as to whether angels would come to me. Now, it's many, many years, many decades later, I have not had any angelic interventions in that sense, but I have connected to angels, and I've been in the presence of angels through spiritual practice. And so that's what I want to talk about a little bit, is our spiritual practice. And spiritual practice is something that I think we need to make a commitment to, and I think it needs to be a daily commitment. It does change our energy. It just does change who we are, and it does help us disconnect from the stuff of everyday, just all the little things that happen in our day. And for me, the things that have really helped have been meditation. Meditation gets a bad rap. But meditation is just sitting down, closing your eyes, and getting quiet. That's all it is. It's nothing, it's not mantras, it's none of that stuff. It's just breaking away from every day so that we can open our eyes to the spirit that's there, those angels, those people who have passed on, our guides, all of those wonderful, wonderful beings that I feel are always with us. But if I'm honest, I don't think that most people that I've talked to have a spiritual practice. They're not going there. And it shows. I'm just going to say it shows up. So again, going back to myself, music is important, meditation, which is just getting quiet, and then my special, I always have a journal. I always keep track. I think it's really important to keep track. I have journals for many, many decades, and so, and my rule for journals are that they're always pink, they're pretty, and they're petite. So they're small. I like them small like this so I can take them to church. So they're always with me, and I always like to use a pink pen because pink is such a beautiful color. The reason why I'm talking about me is so that you can think about you, so that you can think of what works for you. So it's been meditation, which is just getting quiet, listening to music. Oops, this is the wrong thing. Paper. I'm scrunched in here and I'm kind of hitting everything, but that's okay. And prayer. Prayer is a beautiful way to access the angels and our guides. Prayer. Just the prayer that we did just now has so much energy because it's been said by so many people. Just that prayer. Or we can just ask for a prayer of help. Please help me. Please help me today. Help me guide me today. Make me a vessel of love and of giving. Those little things, they don't seem like much, maybe 5 minutes, but it can set us up for the rest of the day. So, I feel like I'm preaching to the choir a little bit right now, and that's okay. So I'm going to look at my notes. So our spiritual journey is our own personal creation. It's on our own timeline. And sometimes we stray off the path. Sometimes we stray off for years and come back. And that's okay. The underlying motivation is to become a better person spiritually. It's intense and personal, and each one of us defines it. So whatever is our thing, if it's music, or if it's looking at something, whatever those things are. Okay. And the other thing is taking classes. Reverend Deborah is not here, but I usually harken back to her because she was one of my early teachers. So we don't have it inside us. We have to learn it most times. And the classes that we have here and the classes that we have at Harmony Grove, they are extraordinarily powerful in putting us on the path and doing them. I did some classes over and over again because they were so important to me. So that's a way for us to take control of our spiritual path. Okay, so now I'm going to ask, is it okay if I do like a tiny little meditation? Okay. In terms of time, I'm concerned about the time, but okay, so here's what I want to do. I would like to do a little thing where we open up, and I like how everybody's just sitting perfectly straight. Feet on the floor, that's great. All right, so I'm going to do breathing. I'm going to do 3 breaths in and out. And then I'm going to, let me make sure I'm doing this right. And then I'll just ask you to sense in some way. And we each have our dominant sense. For me, it's, some people see when they close your eyes and if you feel comfortable closing your eyes. For some people it's seeing, for some people it's hearing. So what I want us to do is try and connect with, does not necessarily have to be an angel, but, and then we'll go from there, we'll see what happens. Okay. So breathe in. When you're breathing, breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathing in. Now we are surrounded by many sounds and spaces and places right now. But as you have your eyes closed, let us open to connecting with those angels, those guides, those loved ones who have passed. They have a message for us now. There's something to share with us as they come forward. And so, let's connect. When you come back into your body, and you're aware of your feet and your eyes and opening them and breathing. So, did anybody have any kind of experience? Raise your hand. Did anybody have any kind of experience? So, would anybody like to share their experience? You don't have to get up, you have to.
I have a problem with asking for help. And just now,
Yeah.
something just came over me and said, you need to give me permission to help and lead and guide you. That just came.
Yes, it just came.
Yeah.
I like that. It just came. Exactly.
Yeah.
How it feels.
And an angel came to me, said, tell me here's my mom's friend. This,
Have you connected before? Connected this year before? Yes. Okay, so,
How many people are worry wards? Are you a worry ward? All of us. We're just going to around, we're worrying. We do it all the time. It doesn't matter the occasion. So what do you think my message was for me? Everything. Don't worry.
Stop worrying.
Everything. Just, no, not stop. Stop worrying is too much. Everything's gonna be fine, right? Right. Okay. Well, that is, thank you so much for participating with me today. I appreciate your time and attention. Bless you.